Have you ever sat in a room full of people and felt like your mind was running on a completely different frequency? Not smarter, not better, just different. While everyone else seems comfortable with surface conversations, your mind keeps diving deeper. You notice patterns others ignore. You question things most people simply accept. And sometimes the way your mind works can make you feel strangely out of place, almost like you're watching the world from just outside the crowd. Psychology has a name for minds like this. Researchers have discovered that some people process reality through deeper pattern recognition, emotional sensitivity, and abstract thinking. But here's the strange part. Most of these people grow up believing something is wrong with them, because when your mind sees more layers than others, the world can feel confusing. But what if the thing that makes you feel different is actually evidence that your brain works in a rare way? In this video, we'll explore 10 signs your mind thinks differently from most people. And by the end, you might understand yourself in a way you never have before. One of the most fascinating paradoxes in psychology is this. The people who think the most often feel the most out of place. Studies in cognitive psychology suggest that individuals with highly active default mode networks, the brain system responsible for self-reflection and internal thinking, tend to process experiences more deeply. Their minds constantly connect ideas, analyze patterns, and search for meaning. To the outside world, this can look like overthinking, but neurologically, it's something else. It's a brain that naturally explores multiple layers of reality at once. Instead of reacting to events, these minds analyze systems. Instead of accepting information, they question it. Carl Jung once described this kind of thinking as psychological depth, a way of perceiving the world through symbols, patterns, and connections. But because modern society rewards quick answers and simple thinking, people with deeper cognitive processing often feel misunderstood, not because they are wrong, but because they see more than what appears on the surface. Psychologists have noticed that people whose minds process information differently often share a number of recognizable traits. These signs don't necessarily mean someone is more intelligent, but they often indicate a brain that prefers depth over simplicity, a mind that searches for meaning rather than just information. You might recognize several of these signs in yourself, or you may suddenly understand why your mind has always felt slightly out of sync with the world around you. Here are 10 signs your mind may think differently from most people. Sign 1. You notice patterns that others overlook. In conversations, meetings, or social situations, you quickly pick up on subtle details, tone changes, body language shifts, unspoken tension. Your brain constantly connects small signals into larger patterns. This ability is related to activity in the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for complex reasoning and prediction. To others, it may seem like intuition, but often it's simply advanced pattern recognition. Sign 2. Small talk feels exhausting. You can do it, but it drains you. Your mind naturally gravitates toward deeper conversations about ideas, emotions, or meaning. Research shows that people who engage in more meaningful conversations often report higher levels of cognitive engagement and emotional satisfaction. Your brain simply prefers depth over surface interaction. Sign 3. You spend a lot of time thinking about life, not just daily tasks, but larger questions. Why people behave the way they do, how society works, what meaning different experiences hold. This reflective thinking is strongly connected to the brain's default mode network, which becomes active during introspection and imagination. For you, thinking deeply isn't an effort. It's the mind's natural state. Sign 4. You often feel other people's emotions very strongly. When someone around you is anxious or upset, you sense it immediately. Neuroscientists link this ability to heightened activity in mirror neuron systems, which allow us to simulate the emotional states of others. For some individuals, this system is simply more responsive, meaning emotional signals become impossible to ignore. But the next sign reveals something even more interesting. Sign 5. You need time alone to recharge. After social events, even enjoyable ones, you feel mentally overloaded. Solitude helps your brain reset. During quiet moments, your mind organizes thoughts, processes emotions, and connects ideas. Many highly creative thinkers rely on solitude for this exact reason. It's not isolation, it's cognitive recovery. Sign 6. You question things most people accept. Rules, traditions, social expectations. Your mind automatically asks, why does this exist? Does it still make sense? Psychologists call this independent cognitive processing a thinking style less influenced by social conformity. While others follow established patterns, your brain analyzes them. Signsipt. Your thoughts often jump between different ideas. One conversation can trigger memories, theories, or connections from completely different areas. This nonlinear thinking style is common in highly creative individuals. Brain imaging studies show stronger connectivity between different neural networks, allowing information to combine in unusual ways. But the next sign reveals something even deeper. Sign 8. Your dreams are unusually vivid. Some people report dreams that feel detailed, symbolic, and emotionally intense. Carl Jung believed dreams reflect communication from the unconscious mind. Modern neuroscience suggests dreaming helps the brain process complex emotional experiences. For people who think deeply during the day, the brain often continues that processing during sleep. Sign 9. When you become interested in something, you dive into it completely. Instead of casual curiosity, you pursue full understanding. Psychologists link this trait to high intrinsic motivation and dopamine-driven curiosity systems in the brain. Your mind seeks not just answers, but entire systems of knowledge. Sign 10. You often see through social behavior. When watching social media, workplace dynamics, or public conversations, you notice hidden motivations, power dynamics, status signals, émotionnelle manipulation. This awareness comes from combining pattern recognition with emotional sensitivity. You don't just see behavior, you see the psychology behind it. From a cognitive perspective, these traits often appear in individuals with highly active reflective thinking systems. Their brains continuously process information in the background, connecting memories, analyzing patterns, exploring possibilities. This can sometimes feel overwhelming, but it also allows for creativity, insight, and problem-solving that more reactive thinking styles might miss. In many ways, these minds operate like internal laboratories, constantly running experiments on reality itself. From a psychological viewpoint, thinking differently is not a flaw. It simply reflects variation in how human brains process information. Some minds are optimized for speed and action. Others are optimized for reflection and complexity. Society needs both. Fast thinkers move systems forward. Deep thinkers question where those systems are going. And throughout history, many breakthroughs came from individuals whose minds refused to accept surface explanations. If several of these signs felt familiar, it may simply mean your mind prefers depth. And in a world that often rewards speed and simplicity, depth can feel unusual. But different doesn't mean wrong. Sometimes it means your brain is designed to notice things others overlook, to question ideas others accept, and to explore layers of reality most people never stop to examine. Understanding how your mind works is the first step toward using it well. Not to isolate yourself from others, but to contribute something unique to the world around you. So now I'm curious, how many of these signs felt familiar to you? Let me know in the comments.